Welcome everybody to Extreme Off-Road Silly Bills, and today we're dealing with the 2021 Cupra Formentor VZ5. So yeah, this now has 821 horsepower, 715 pounds-feet of torque from a 3 litre turbocharged inline 5 engine. The car itself now weighs 2,888 pounds, still has its all-wheel drive system, but it now has off-road tyres and off-road suspension, and it can now do 0 to 60 in 3.948 seconds, 0 to 106.062 seconds, and going to a top speed of 201 miles an hour. So yeah, this isn't the first Cupra that we've had on this series before, the previous one being the Urban Rebel concept, but it is consequently the first combustion engine Cupra that we've had on this series so far, and yeah, the only one of the three that are now on this game. So yeah, not sure how it's going to do really, because yeah, we've not really had anything like this from Cupra before, and it is quite a lightweight SUV, which again we don't typically have. They are typically a lot heavier than this, but as you can see, the speed, acceleration, launch and braking, and also the off-road capability are all fairly solid. It's only really the handling that is a little bit of a letdown, so hopefully it won't be as bad as the 4.7 stat there suggests, but it's still got its original engine. It's had all-wheel drive standard, so it's not having to deal with any of that, you know, alternative stuff. And the reason it's still got its original engine is because we could only swap in the 300 horsepower Rally turbocharged engine, which is a decent engine, but it only gets you up to about 668 horsepower, which, yeah, is obviously not as much as we can get out of this engine. So yeah, that's why I stuck with the stock engine, but upgraded it heavily. So yeah, hopefully it's not too light to get thrown around, but it should hopefully at least be light enough to make most of that power. It's going to be interesting to see what it can do in comparison to the Urban Rebel concept, because that was an extremely quick electric car, had excellent handling, from what I can remember, but obviously it was not meant for going off-road, whereas obviously this is. We are dealing with more than twice the power we had originally. Now it seems to be dealing with it all okay. How's it going to deal with the jump? Pretty fine, to be honest. No rising up at the front or slowing down massively on the landing. One advantage this does have is the fact that it's such a small and lightweight vehicle for an off-road car. So yeah, it should be a little bit more agile than its competitors from the same kind of period as this was released. It to your much bigger off-roaders that we were taking out, and yeah, it's substantially lighter. Even in stock form, it's lighter than many other off-road vehicles. So yeah, being in at less than 2,900 pounds is extremely lightweight for a car of this type. Granted, it does not have the same level of power as some of those cars, which typically either have bigger engines than what this has, or have the option to swap in a much bigger engine, whereas yeah, we only had the option to swap in a smaller engine. A powerful engine, no doubt about that, but a smaller and less powerful engine nonetheless. So yeah, lack of power may well harm our time here. Also could be a benefit in the fact that we are quite controllable. We are struggling to deal with the extra power. So good rates of speed as well, despite nowhere near the power as most cars on this series. we go. So not quite as quick as the Urban Rebel concept at 3 minutes 21.293, but considering this has way less power than a lot of vehicles on this series, that is still reasonably good. And yeah, puts us ahead. 21293 puts us ahead of the Nissan Safari Z370Z Safari Rally Tribute, the Jeep Gladiator Rubicon, the what else? Volkswagen Pickup LX, Jimco Hammerhead Class 1, Mitsubishi Galant VR4, Aston Martin DBX, Toyota Hilux AT38, and the Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. So some serious off-road competition there that we are quicker than, but we're slightly behind the likes of the Ford Mustang Mach-E, Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro, and the likes of the Lincoln Co. Scion Racing 03 and the Audi RS e-tron. So yeah, by no means the quickest car that we've had by any means, and certainly slower than the Porsche Mission R from the previous episode by, yeah, nearly, well, just over 4 seconds actually, which is obviously quite a gap. But considering it has way less power than a lot of cars on this series, I mean, you take into comparison the Porsche Mission R, which had more than 1100 horsepower, the Audi RS6 Avant had more than 1200 horsepower, and the likes of the Ford F-150 Lightning Platinum that had 986 horsepower, although we are quicker than that, or the likes of the Ferrari, the Lamborghini Huracan STO, which had 1300 horsepower. That is still on the whole a reasonably good time, considering, yeah, most cars have 400, 500 horsepower more than we do. So yeah, and yeah, it was all controllable and had no issues whatsoever in terms of going down this course. It just so happened to lack enough oomph, but that can't be helped. Nonetheless, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.